We're now joined by Kyle Busch, driver of the number 8 Richard Childress Racing Chevrolet. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic over to you. We'll start here with Reed and then go to Dustin and Bob, then Brian.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire. Speaking of pit crews, you've got three new guys this week, and I think a couple of them come from the Xfinity Series. Is that a concern at all that they're dealing with different lug nut situations? Have they had time to practice together and anything like that?
I have no clue. I don't have any idea of where guys are coming from or what their background is or what their experience is, but you led into that and gave me some of that, so thank you. I always kind of just assumed the Cup guys were the Xfinity guys, so news to me. We'll find out how good they are come about 1:30 on Sunday.
Go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Talked with Andy Petrie. Said he talked to you this week, and I kind of wondered too, from an athlete's point of view, the challenge for as good as you are on pit road, trying to take it even 10/10ths or take it to another level. How much do you have to be careful about not trying to do too much to carry a pit crew when there's the concern about you may lose a couple seconds? So how do I make it up? And then I'm guessing maybe was that a factor in sliding through or maybe not?
Yeah, no, it was. Anytime I'm on pit road, and I'm always thinking of the sheet and the statistics and the pieces of information that we have of what we try to gauge ourselves to the rest of our competition with. I mean, there's probably 5 or 6 different sectors of pit road of things that you worry about to make sure that you're the best at all of those. And, one of those is getting onto pit road, how you roll your pit road speed with your lights, how you get into the box, how you get out of the box, how you exit pit road, get back up on the racetrack and blend. And so all of those things, you want to be perfect every time. And so for me, I had come in the previous 2 pit stops before the one I slid through, where I came in way too light. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming in way too light. I'm giving up. If it's a half a second, I don't even know what it is, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure I hit it this time, and I hit the sign the way I need to hit the sign and everything else. And so that's what happened on the next one. I came in as hot as I thought I needed to come in, and when it locked the rear tires with the brakes, it just slid, and it slid 2 inches too far. So 1 week you're too short, the next you're too long. Kind of crazy, but all in all, just frustrating day to have the disaster that we did on pit road, of just being really slow, and then for me to slide through to kind of add insult to injury on my behalf. We otherwise would have been a top 10 finisher. So that was the day that we needed, and we certainly lost a lot of points.
When you say too light, what does that mean? I mean, you're not hitting the sign or not hitting it as forcefully, and obviously you have a sense of it, but I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, so you're rolling your pit road speed, and then as you decelerate to come into your box, you want to go to the brake pedal once and just kind of slow down and get down to speed, one constant down. The 2 times before that, I was coming in, I was slowing down and then having to get off the brake because I was too slow, and then reapply brake in order to stop at the spot that I needed to stop on. So I tried to hit that one trajectory of just straight down of decel, and I missed.
Go to Bob, and then all the way in the back to Brian.
Bob Hawkers, Fox Sports. I have 2. On that stop where you were called for pinning outside the box, you can't see where your splitter is, correct? So
right.
You have to rely on one of the pit crew guys. I guess where Randall sits, he couldn't see it either. Yeah,
so typically in years past at JGR, we'd always have a system of it's the changer's responsibility. And then from there, or a guy behind the wall, like one of the pit crew support guys behind the wall, needs to just start jumping up and down and waving, like push him back. And that's what I did. Like when I stopped, I came to a stop. I'm like, man, I feel a little long, but I don't know. So I looked at the behind the wall guys, and the behind the wall guys were like moving the hose and ready to catch a tire. Like that wasn't even something they were supposed to do. So we've talked about some of those things this week to put more responsibility on more players. So we can not have the penalty exist. But to further Dustin's point, the 10/10ths on pit road, I'm really good at getting all 10. And when I feel like I'm in a downward position where I'm behind, or I'm going to try to get extra. I'm going to try to get more. And so that's led to my speeding penalties. That's led to my sliding through the boxes, because I know I have to make up time on pit road myself to kind of compensate for what we're losing when we're stopped in the box. So I know everybody at RCR is busting their tail and working hard. I know that Ray and everybody in the pit stop department is. It's just we got what we got, and we've got to work through it. And if that's changing players around, then we've got to change players around, and we've got to find something that's going to strengthen our front line, our defense, whatever it is, whatever you want to call those guys, special teams. We've got to find the players that are going to make it roll.